about Saturday's game with Virginia coming up, ACC championship. Guys going for your fifth in a row as a program. Your second in a row since you've been here. What's the talk inside the facility there about the Cavaliers and what you guys know about them?
Yeah, this is our first day back. Really, we don't have anything mandatory on Sundays, so this is the first day back in the facility with all the guys. There hasn't been a chance to talk about it too much, but we know it's a really good team. We watched them play a little bit this year when we were driving up to Columbia or down to Columbia. We watched them play against Virginia Tech, and it's like any other game. I mean, they're a really good team, and obviously they made it this far. They got a lot of talent, and they're really well coached from what I've seen on film. And then just defensively, they have some really good players. I feel like they're very disciplined, so they know what they're doing schematically, and they're usually in the right spots. So that's just a couple things I've noticed. Haven't got to watch a ton, but I mean, we're really excited to have the opportunity to go back to Charlotte.
I know Justin and T moved around some on Saturday. What was it like trying to find some mismatches and take advantage of some of those opportunities?
Yeah, I think any game that's really important is just find your matchups, especially a team like South Carolina that played a lot of man coverage. That was something that we kind of worked on all week, was finding those matchups that we wanted and also just recognizing them. And, so that was really important. And then just the cool thing about having T and Justin and then Dre, Frank, Joe, Amari, all those guys, you can kind of move them all everywhere. So that's something that's helped us this year, and they did a really good job of moving around and adjusting.
You led the team in rushing on Saturday with 66 yards and a couple of big plays. Late in the season, a lot of folks say, why run the guy so much, but what's your philosophy there?
Just doing whatever, taking whatever the defense gives me is how I see it, and I think you can't play scared. I mean, I hear those things that people say, but you can't play scared. It's still a game, and if I'm in there, I'm gonna play like I play. I'm not gonna change anything, whether it's the first or third quarter. So I think it is smart not to take hits that aren't necessary, but for me, I'm always going to play the same way, and I'm not going to hold anything back, so that's something that's important to me.
Well, speaking of necessary hits, there's a couple hits that have floated around on social media since the game that looked like they were a little bit unnecessary. Did you feel the same when you took them?
Yeah, I think the one that they called was, but I mean, they called it, so there's not much else you can do. But other than that, I felt like it was just a physical game, how it is all the time. But I think that was really the only one that I noticed that was bad.
Do you enjoy getting to run the ball, or if it were a perfect game for you, be 40 pass attempts, no running attempts?
No, I enjoy it. I enjoy it until I run a couple in a row, then I'm super tired and I can't breathe. But no, I really enjoy running the ball. Actually, it's something that's I feel like it gets me into the game more when I can run the ball, maybe take a hit, and kind of get my blood flow and all that. So I like doing it.
Do you think your running game has improved?
Definitely, since last year it's improved a lot, and that's something I wanted to work on. And just I think getting bigger and faster has helped a lot. But then just also understanding the game and knowing when to scramble, when to try to make a play with my legs, and when to either throw it away or find a guy downfield.
Is that the area of the game that you think is just matured the most? Is digesting what the coverage is giving you? And just being able to take the
Yeah, for sure. I think mentally that's been the biggest improvement since last year. Is just understanding things more.
When you're running, do you think that your speed kind of catches some of the defenders off guard? They don't realize you're that fast?
Yeah, I think that might be part of it, but I think just as a defense, it's hard to sit back in coverage, and then I'm not really, like you said, I'm not really known as like a running quarterback, so you're sitting back and then see me scramble, and then if I just get a little bit of an edge on them, I can get the corner. So I think that's the hardest thing as a defense, is to defend a quarterback that can run a little bit. So, I mean, you see like Lamar Jackson, those guys, and that they just kill defense with that. And obviously, I'm not that, but that's just hard as a defense to be back in coverage and then have to come up and make a tackle one-on-one with the guy.
Coach Elliott says he feels you might be actually faster than Deshaun was. How fast do you think you are? Where do you kind of rank as far as the top tier, middle tier, lower tier, as far as fast guys on this team?
Yeah, I don't know about that, but I think maybe straight line, maybe, but I think I have decent speed, and it's something that I can use, but I don't think I'm definitely not one of the faster guys on the team. We got some really fast guys, Travis and Isaiah and T, and all those guys can fly, but I'm kind of just in the middle there, maybe a little bit above average.
Would you want to race Deshaun if you ever get the chance to?
Probably not. I think he'd probably beat me.
Those runs in the fourth quarter, were any of those designed, or was it just trying to make a play?
Really, I think only maybe one of them were designed. Other ones were trying to make a play or, just zone read is a huge part of our offense and do that stuff. But I think only one of them is really designed.
Is that part of the adjustment when earlier in the year and there were some interceptions? Did you feel like maybe just tuck it and run as opposed to forcing it into tight spots? Is that one of the adjustments that you made?
I think not that as much as just one thing's been big is just finding the back for me, checking it down and thinking, it's okay to check it down, even if it's 3rd and 10 or 3rd and long. If we don't get the first down, we can punt it, but just not turning the ball over has been something that I've worked on a lot this year. And then I think too, just being able to throw it away and not turn it over and knowing that throwing the ball away is a good play sometimes. So that's just something that I've learned. But yeah, I think running the ball in those situations when they're playing man and 2 safeties and they kind of got everything covered up, it's either find the back or scramble if you can.
I think you gave Kumamu a high five on one of the plays. What kind of happened on that play? Was it a little less intense than you were expecting? What did you think of playing down there?
It was. I've had a chance to think about it the last week or so, or 2 weeks maybe. I think this rivalry is now, it's just so much more of the fans than it is necessarily the players. Obviously, we both care a lot about this game and we want to win the game, but I think all of the nasty stuff that you see is mostly fans really stuff between. We respect each other and we respect the guys on our team. And he made a great play on that play. We really had a wide open guy and I just tried to put it right over him and he's so long, he got a piece of it, so he made a good play and I was just letting him know he did.
On the 65-yard touchdown to T in the game, you climbed the pocket before you let the ball loose, and that's something we see you do a lot. Is that something you do consciously, or is it just something that just comes as an instinct naturally from all those reps as a quarterback?
Yeah, it's we do. Coach Streeter, we do a ton of drills of working the pocket, either climbing it or stepping over, and just maneuvering the pocket is something we work on a lot. That's every day. So at this point, it's really muscle memory. That's the point of doing those every day. Is just so when it happens in the game, you feel like on this side you can just move kind of seamlessly and then let the ball go instead of trying to scramble when someone gets in the pocket. So that's something that we work on a lot.
How hard is it to throw a ball when you're on the move like that? You were running up and throwing it. How hard is that to throw it and throw it accurately deep down the field?
It's just something you work on in practice. Just all those different kind of weird body throws. Something that I work on a little bit, and then just it kind of helped me get some weight into it and throw it a little further. So it actually kind of helped me there.
You have a pretty good connection with all your receivers, obviously, but have you and T kind of taken it to another level?
I think it's. I don't know. Do you mean just from last year? Or what do you mean as far as that?
It's been just a steady connection between you two from the outset, as you progressed?
I think it's just being consistent and I think having played with him a whole year last year and then now this year, just got better every week and I can count on him. I can count on all the guys really, but I think just how our offense has been this season, he's gotten the ball a lot and he's had a chance to make some huge plays and he's made them. And that's been awesome to see is that he hasn't had. Can't even think of many drops that he's had this season. So just he's really taking advantage of his opportunities. And as a quarterback, you love throwing to a guy like that.
Do you share subtle signs with him, like a nod? Or
can't say all that stuff. no.
But
yeah.
Is there a?
I think we know when we see a play called in, and we think he has a chance to get it. We're both thinking it. We don't have to really look at each other, but no. When I see something, I know that. Based on their defense, it's going to be wide open, then obviously we get excited.
Do you see some of the catches he makes and never, wow, I can't believe he got it.
For sure. You kind of get used to it, just seeing him all the time, but then you think about it, and you're like, there's not many guys that can do stuff like that.
He was running a route the other day and it looked like he broke 24 ankles on that one route. How much has he improved in doing those kind of things and getting better at that?
He's just, I think that's been an area he's gotten a lot better at is just setting routes up and when you watch him play, you can't really tell which way he's going. He does a really good job of that. And then also just, he's used things in our offense that might be tendencies to really use it against the defense when we do other things and kind of use those moves to get him bite. And that's what happened there. He bit on the post and we ran a post corner and then after the catch too, he made a really good move to get upfield too. So he's a great player.
Do you think your timing on the deep balls to T and Justin and whatnot is as good now as it's biggest been on you?
Yeah, that was last year. At the end of the year, I kind of think about things I want to work on and get better at. And that was a big thing. Was last year I missed so many deep throws to whether it was T or whoever, and that was something I really wanted to work on. And this year, I think I've done a lot better job of giving them a chance at least to catch it. It might be a little bit on their throwing, but at least, not overthrowing it where they don't have a chance.
You ever cross paths with Bryce Burke?
I haven't actually. No, I haven't.
What do you make of the team?
He's a really good player. I mean, I haven't got a lot of time to watch him, and then this week I'll be watching the defense pretty much the whole time. But I have seen kind of some crossover when we're watching whoever it might be that they played earlier in the year, whether it's like UNC or something like that. When we watch those games, I get to see their offense because they're going against the defense we're playing. So I've got to see him play, and just his ability to throw the ball downfield, obviously, but also run and make things happen with his legs is really cool.
How much have you seen on tape of what Virginia does with their linebackers and some of the different flex they
Not a ton. I watched one game yesterday just to kind of get a feel for their structure and what they do, and that was the North Carolina game. So I watched that, but I haven't gone super deep into formational stuff and kind of how they switch things up. But obviously they got really good players, and at linebacker they have really good size, so they're a good team.
Throwing stuff to death is disgusting to do with these guys and you and Sean Watson and taking you think. Do you have an opinion on that?
Yeah, I don't know. I might maybe in a straight line, but I think his change of direction is definitely better than mine.
With so much focus on the interceptions early in the season, I think it's the first quarter of the Louisville game was the last time I think that you've had one. I think you've had like 22, 23 touchdowns. Have you taken an extra sense of self-satisfaction here recently, just kind of like thinking, yeah, man, all these people were getting on me about this, and now it's been forever since you've thrown one. Has that kind of meant anything extra to you?
Not really, honestly. I think it's just, I take pride in not turning the ball over, and I did a really good job of that last year, of limiting those turnovers. So it was obviously disappointing to have a few early in the season, and that was something I wanted to improve on, just because we're not being our best if I'm turning it over a lot. So that was just something I wanted to work on to make our team better, and as an offense to really improve, because a lot of those, I guess hiccups you saw earlier in the year might have been because of some turnovers. So that was something I wanted to work on, and that was the only thing. Is I'm happy with how I'm playing because we're playing a lot better when I'm playing better. So.
Anything else?
Thank you all.